The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
It is not your imagination. We are on live. It is earlier than normal. It is the Bostonian versus the book. A couple hours before we normally get rolling here. Okay. Early start time for you East Coast folks. It's a lunchtime crowd. It is a morning show for us here in Vegas. It's just past 9 o'clock. Dave Sharapan, the book, Matt Perrault, the Bostonian. I've got things going on here with my life, so that's what we're on earlier. In case you're wondering, replay on Sports Grid, same time. Replay on Sirius XM channel 159, same time as normal. Just a live show earlier. For you guys in the chat, thank you for being here. I know some of you like the early times, some of you dislike the early times because it gets you out of whack. You're like, wait a minute. You're 2 hours early. Yeah, just for a day. Tomorrow we'll call Friday back to our normal time. But
back to normal time.
How are you? Are you ready? You got the hot coffee today. So I'm curious as to what you're going to be like today.
Oh yeah.
How are you on this Thursday?
I'm fired up. It's excellent. The boys are all here. Everybody's filing in.
Nice.
It's early, yes, for us on the West Coast. It's mid-time, lunchtime, middle of the day, whatever you want to call it on the East Coast. We're head-to-head up against Pat and the boys. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not worried about that. They're not worried about us. We like them. They like us. You can be there. You can be here. You can be in both places, not at the same time. But what this will allow us to do will be to live longer on the audio podcast.
That is true.
Go download that anywhere you are, wherever you get podcasts, and you'll get it earlier today, which we'll put it to the chat at the end. And see if you like this time, you don't like this time. We'll ask. It won't matter what you answer because we're doing the show when we got to do the show. Today, we got to do the show a little earlier because, yes, you got some business to take care of. That's my favorite thing about today is that we have the flexibility to move the start time of the show when life happens. And today, life happens, but that's okay because we're going to do the show as such, as is. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Everybody's ready. Perrault. I mean, I gotta ask you though. Like you started with this Steelers Patriots 2004 thing today on the Twitter. Who was that guy that said that? Who was
Asante Samuel?
Who?
Asante Samuel.
Oh, did he play?
Come on, bro. Did he play?
That was a long time ago. My memory is foggy.
It's one of the best cornerbacks in the league for about 5 seasons.
Oh, that's right. He was good. That's right. Now I remember. Okay. What's he talking about that 19 years later for?
He's doing a podcast. He's a content guy now. So
everybody's a content guy now.
But I think it was on the Jerome Bettis show, the same show you're on, where Ben Roethlisberger and Jerome Bettis accused the Patriots of cheating in 2004. So Asante Samuel said, whoa, what the hell are you talking about? We didn't cheat anything in 2004. No cheating went on because they were referencing a play, one play.
But you can't start with that. Sorry, Will, you can't start with that shit first thing in the morning. You got me all fired up. I got the Pittsburgh gear on. I got every Pittsburgh hat I got today for the show. Every single one I could find. I got.
Do you have a mortuaries hat too for the Pirates? Because you gotta close the casket.
Are we gonna have more wins than the Red Sox?
I don't know. It may be right.
Damn close, huh?
Right. It's right. Is it damn close?
Can you believe that the Red Sox were like destined to cash the over on their number, and now they got to sweep the weekend to get the over on their season win number? Do you believe this?
That's
Wetzel
awful.
said it last night on Sports Grid. I was like, Wetzel. He's like, I was spending the money. They had 69 wins going into September.
Lost 4 games in a row. Wow, the Sox actually have a negative run differential now. How about that? Whoa, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
how bad things have gotten for them over the last month. Whoa, that's nuts.
Yeah.
76-74. All we got to do is win one game and we'll have more wins than you guys, or at least tied.
It's amazing though, because your season win total was 13 wins higher than this.
That is true. That is very true. But we also don't play in a cupcake division. So
cupcake division.
Yeah, kind of. So it's kind of tough. The Sox have
like
70,
that today. That's
Sox,
how that. You want to know how it's going to be? That's how it's going to be today.
The Sox have 76 wins. They're in last place. The Cardinals have 69 wins they're in last place.
First time since like 1980 something that the Pirates finish ahead of the Cardinals in a division. Other than no, they finished behind them in the 2 years they won a wild card. The Cardinals won a division.
I mean, it is kind of crazy. Yankees, Red Sox, Cardinals, right? Three of the most diehard fan bases, most
all
baseball cities.
Yeah,
horrible.
Bad.
Absolutely
bad.
Horrible.
Yes.
We're going to talk some Ryder Cup, some fantasy football, and gambling with Tom Lippert in about 25 minutes. Local guy here in Vegas that will bring on Pro Gambler that we're going to talk to him about some plays and picks and thoughts. And Ryder Cup, we've got the Thursday pairing that came out for the Ryder Cup for the first or Friday pairing. Sorry.
Oh, it's tonight, our time, West Coast time,
overnight. Yes, Friday. Right? Yes, for Friday, right?
So you gotta make these plays today. By the time we're on tonight on the replay on Sports Grid and Sirius XM 159, they will be playing or they will be starting the second hour of the replay of the show. So, yeah, Lip's a pro golf guy. He's around it. He plays. He bets it. He's very sharp. So he'll have some looks at that, hopefully. Along with, he's going to have something to say about the fantasy situation. And, he does the contest. Last year or the year before, he took down the first quarter in the Westgate. Ooh. 25 dimes, picked up, just went down, picked up. Went to dinner with him after. It was very nice.
Oh. Very nice. Right. Let's see what happens. We know some people that might be in line to.
Oh, don't even say it. Stop.
He was talking to me about it last night. I was DMing with him last night on it.
I know.
He is nervous, by the way. I told you he would be.
Stop talking about it. We just need one.
I don't believe any of the nonsense. I just told him to stop thinking and fire.
Did it tell him not to use Thursday game?
I don't think he's using the Thursday game.
Okay. I said, don't use the Thursday game. We're going to talk about the Thursday game, Detroit, Green Bay.
It's a divisional game on top of that. It's a 1.5 point spread.
Don't use it.
Yeah, don't use tonight. No, if you're in a contest tonight, don't use it for Survivor. Don't use it for picks. Don't use tonight. Tonight's a bad game to play.
Sometimes I say to the people, don't listen to the shit that Perrault says, but right there, put that shit on rewind and listen to exactly what this man said just now. Don't use the game tonight. It's a coin flip. It ain't going to be no easy game. There's other games on the weekend that are better than this game. And there's still some things we need to know before the weekend. You can't put all the picks in today for the weekend. No way.
Right.
No way.
Let's start with basketball because we'll get to baseball and football next. And just what happened during the show yesterday. Dame Lillard has been traded to the Bucks from Portland. They went immediately to the odds-on favorite to win the NBA championship. But at further digestion of this trade, well, what's your take? Because I have flipped on mine.
Phoenix did good.
They did.
Phoenix did good. They changed the way their team's going to be, but that's a good thing, I think. I think this 100% is going to work in Milwaukee as long as they play. Multiple people have told me that Jrue Holiday's not going to be a Portland Trailblazer.
He's not. Nope. No, they're shopping him right now. He could be traded. He could be gone today.
Is he going to Boston? Have you heard this nonsense?
Yeah, Boston is getting a package together for him, but there's not a guarantee that they're going to get him. Holiday's going to be a very hot commodity. He's a very good player.
He can do a bunch of different things.
Defensively, more than anything, Boston. That's why Boston wants him to replace Marcus Smart.
Right.
I think the Bucks actually, as a full unit, got worse yesterday by this trade.
I can't help but think of one thing when you do that.
I know.
If you get the show and you've seen the show, you know what we're talking about there when you just do this.
Yeah.
What is your thought? What is the thing?
So remember when, there's been teams that have added superstar players, but the depth has been just destroyed.
Correct.
That's what happened with Milwaukee last night. I think losing Grayson Allen and losing Drew Holiday is going to be really problematic. Damian Lillard's a phenomenal player, okay? He doesn't guard anyone. He has no interest in playing defense.
Oh.
Drew Holiday is one of the best defenders in the game, and you have to guard wings in the East. Really good wings in the East. Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum. Milwaukee really right now doesn't have a great matchup. They've got Giannis, who is the ultimate mismatch.
Right.
And you have a killer in Dame. I'll give you that.
Right.
But in the regular season, Grayson Allen played a lot of key moments and key minutes for that team. Hit a bunch of big shots for them last year.
What round did they lose in last year?
First round.
First round.
To a killer.
First round loss.
They lost to Jimmy. They lost to a killer. They've got a killer. I'm not going to debate that point. I mean, Dame, let's see what he does in the playoffs with Milwaukee. They'll get there, obviously. I'm just not sold. I think this roster still needs some work. If I'm the Bucks, I'm not done. I'm going to try to figure out what to do. But the
Middleton's still on the team?
He is, yeah. I'm not a very big
My man's going to thrive now.
Chris Middleton, he could. I'm not a very big fan.
He's going to thrive. He's number 3.
Is he going to be healthy? He hasn't been healthy in 2 years.
Stand on that wing and knock it down. Leave us alone.
Okay. If Milton's healthy, you're right. That's a 3-headed monster, and it's going to be a very difficult matchup for most teams. Boston can handle it. Other teams in the West can handle it. But the funny part about the story and the real fallout from this story is that the Miami Heat offered a much better package than what Portland ultimately said yes to. And this is where no trade clauses come in. Dame didn't have one. So Dame went public and said, I'm going to Miami. That's it. The team just said, yeah, Fugazi, we'll do what we want. We'll go wherever you want. We'll trade you where we want. We're not sending you to Miami because Miami offered, 3 first-round picks, a first-round swap. They offered 2 other players, including Tyler Hero. Nope. Not even. Supposedly what Portland asked for was either Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo. And if either one of those players were not in the package, they were not listening to the Miami Heat.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing, but Miami pivoted and gave more than what Milwaukee ultimately gave up to get.
Did they give them who they wanted? Did they give either one of them?
No. They wanted, he was never going.
We're going to talk about fantasy, talking about trades.
Yep.
You could give me all your shit and maybe it's perceived to be better, but I want one of those 2 guys. You're not giving me those 2 guys. I hang up the phone. I'm going to go trade you somewhere else.
Fair. But it was also because they went to the league office and said, we're never going to trade Dame to Miami because if we do this, we're giving a player all the leverage. Like when a player comes out and says, I want to go to one place and one place only, there's no more leverage to have from a trade market. And so the Trailblazers were working with the NBA essentially to make sure not make sure the trade never happened, but that if it did, Portland was going to win it on such an overwhelming way that it would be like, okay, they had to trade him there. Like they got everything that they wanted. Because Milwaukee, in this 3-team trade as to where Dame winds up with the Bucks is not as good of a return for Portland as what they would have gotten from Miami with a 1-to-1 trade.
That's their prerogative. They can do whatever trade they want.
Of course. That's why players who don't have no trade clauses, that's absolutely the problem, right? If you have a no trade clause, you want the opportunity to flex that. He didn't have it. And so he had 3 years left on his deal. And I'll be very curious to see how this works. This is going to be a lot of fun because you mentioned it yesterday that no one's betting anybody else, right? It was automatically going straight to
Milwaukee and Boston.
Milwaukee, right?
And then everybody else, literally in the East. There's not anyone else. They're not betting anyone else. Cleveland, Sixers, come on. Toronto, no. Knicks, laughable. I think you just pencil in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're playing. Barring injury, it's Boston and Milwaukee. Dice for coming. A lot of green. Pick your green.
It's going to be really interesting. Is that good though? If you know the playoffs already?
Wasn't that the NBA for the longest time? It was just a matter of time whether it was going to be Lakers at Celtics or Celtics at Lakers back when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
That was the league. And then you need a team to come up. I'll never forget when the Houston Rockets won the NBA championship. I was like, how did that even happen? '83, the Sixers beat the Celtics and got to play in the championship. Dr. J and that was one of my favorite teams of all time because it wasn't the Lakers or the Celtics.
Right.
Sixers. Let's go. The West isn't like that.
No, not at all. And Dame's going to have to say a lot. I think what Dame says in the press conference when they introduced him in Milwaukee, I mean, basically everybody, all the Portland media, all the Miami media. I mean, Miami media is furious. Like, Miami fans are furious that this went down this way. Like, they really thought they were getting Damian Lillard to put him with Bam and Jimmy. And now that's not happening. And you talked about the odds after the trade yesterday on the show. I mean, Miami's what, 30-1?
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're not even really in the conversation.
No.
Even though they went to the finals last year. So I think there's a lot of that was supposed to be the guy. Like, Dame going to South Beach and teaming up with those two guys down there was supposed to be the fix to have them be competitive with Boston and Milwaukee. And now they're not going to be competitive with Boston and Milwaukee. They had their one shot. It felt like it was a one and done. And now we'll see what happens. I think Miami should trade Jimmy Butler, but that's probably not going to happen. Jimmy likes Miami a lot. So, Jimmy went on social.
FanDuel put up the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
The matchups.
Exactas.
Yeah. Just pick the finals. Milwaukee versus the Suns is the favorite. 8-1.
Wow. I don't agree with that.
Milwaukee versus Denver is the second favorite, 9-1. And then it's Boston, Phoenix is 11.
Yeah.
And Boston, Denver is 12. The next one all involve Milwaukee. Every single one. Milwaukee Lakers, Milwaukee Golden State, Milwaukee Memphis, Milwaukee and the Clippers. Then it's Boston against all those teams.
What's the worst? What's like Boston versus the Lakers? 100-1?
No, Boston versus the Lakers is 27-1.
Yikes, that's wrong. That is so wrong. That is not even
the
close. The
Lakers are not going to the finals. I don't know who needs to hear it.
Yeah, that's so wrong.
The Lakers are the second or the third choice in the West behind Denver and Phoenix, and then it's the Lakers. The Lakers are too old. They're not healthy enough. Every single year, the people come into town and bet the Lakers to win the championship. And I would say, come in, send them a limo, bring them in, let them bet whatever they want. Let's get all the Laker money we can in October while we can, because they're going to get hurt.
Right.
Just get it all. Get as much as you can. Keep the prices up on the other teams because hopefully they'll bet someone else.
Right.
And go from there because, listen, it would be a hell of a story and a way to be a perfect walk-off for LeBron, win a championship on the way out. Talk about depth, they don't got it. Talk about health, they don't got it. 27-1 Celtics Lakers. Your price is better, and sometimes your prices are way off. But we need that right there.
Yeah.
They ain't winning. Come on.
That's what are we doing? That's crazy.
What are we doing is right.
So obviously we have a lot of time to get in NBA futures and NBA conversations, but the final, I think, kind of piece to this is you mentioned the Suns. Like, quietly, I think the Suns may have come out the best out of anybody on this.
A lot of people that I respect with NBA opinion said the same exact thing to me. Said, don't sleep on what the Suns just did. Now they have depth. They have.
Because they didn't have it last year. That was their problem. They traded away their depth, and they didn't have anything. When they got Kevin Durant, they didn't have any depth because they gave it all up to Brooklyn.
That's it. Look at you, frozen. Oh, my God. Look at that face. Somebody captioned that picture. Holy crap. There, you're back. Okay. Whew.
So that's going to be they've got the depth back.
Yes.
So now, okay, we'll let's see what they do. Where are you on Chris Paul?
I got to wait and see. I mean,
because the Warriors might be giving him up to go get Drew Holiday.
Man. Chris
Maddox reports that the Warriors have the capital, they have the prospects, they've got the ability to go to Portland and say, here, we'll give you Chris Paul, we'll give you a couple other players, Kuminga, first-round picks, give us Drew Holiday. Holiday on the Warriors is a monster move.
That is a monster move.
If that were to go down. So, like, we're not done. Like,
we're not done. All that dirty work, and he becomes that Iguodala character that they had when Andre was doing it, when they were winning those championships, right? Like he becomes that guy. You can leave the Splash Brothers to just do their thing and not have to worry about that other stuff. Drew ain't taking that crap from anybody. That's a good one. Chris Paul's old. He's beat up. He gets so close. How do you keep getting so close and you can't get a championship? If they ship him to Portland, he got to be like, man, what are you guys doing? Like, I got to finish out here. We're playing for the lottery spot.
Yeah, it's a mess. All right, let's talk quick baseball. Tommy Lips is going to come in here in a couple of minutes. He's already kind of getting his shot set up. So once he's good to go,
make sure he has
out.
headphones.
He's out. I don't know. He's outside, it looks like.
Is he?
Yeah, he's wearing dolphin shirts. I think he might be burning dolphins. Oh my God, Rob Johnson jerseys. He's wearing all sorts of crazy stuff. So we'll go ahead and have that.
Wound up. I told him, be ready.
It's fine. It's all good. We got you in a second, Tommy. Hold on. I got a couple things I got to say before.
Yeah.
To the Chicago Cubs broadcasters,
who were
angry that the Cubs had to wait. Your season's already the fuck over.
There's not mathematically eliminated yet.
We've never seen 40-70 before. Ronald Acuna Jr. created the 40-70 club last night.
He's one member.
Really damn impressive.
Very.
Stopping to change the base out is very much protocol. And they're at home.
Right.
They're the best team in baseball.
All true.
They are the odds-on favorite to win the whole thing. Acuna is the MVP.
No question.
You decided to have a rookie come in for his first ever save appearance in a game you had to have last night. And you're actually going to criticize the Braves for stopping to honor Acuna last night. What is wrong with you?
It's a sad situation. They had both games won yesterday, the day before. And
they blew them both. I watched them both. I couldn't believe it. The Braves are so fun. They're so fun. They're never out of a game. Never. No matter what the score is, never out of it.
Ever.
It's so fun.
It's not fun when you're rooting against them, but you're right.
But it's so fun when you're looking at the lineup and you're like, most times you're like, oh man, it's the bottom of the order. Don't matter for them. It don't matter. No matter who it is, no matter what part of the lineup, no matter what inning it is,
doesn't matter.
They just won't stop. And when their top guys are back up with key moments, I mean, Acuna was 0 for 3 last night before he did what he did. Single, stolen base, game-winning run.
So tough.
Why is that tough? It's not tough. It's awesome.
It is fun to watch, but when you're rooting against them, like you need a team to beat them. Which team is going to beat them in the National League? It's just, I don't know.
I need one star Gorov to go play taps for the Cubs. See you later.
Well, I mean, the Pirates will have something to say about that against the Marlins over the weekend. The Pirates can play the Marlins tough, take 2 of 3, and the Cubs
could,
get 2 of 3, and then goodness gracious, what if they tie and they have to have another 1-game playoff?
Well, we got all that. I've got a full. Okay. I'm going to break down. There's 2, 3, and 4 team tiebreaker scenarios currently being put out by Major League Baseball today as to what ends up happening at the end of the year when we get to Sunday. What ends up happening? How many different teams could play who, where, when? How do we put on the playoffs? It's all pretty wild, to be honest with you. There are some very funky situations.
Is what it is.
I don't know if it's ridiculous. I think it's pretty fun, to be honest with you.
Well, it's fun, but it burns the whole, like if you got to win a game to then play a game to then play a series, your pitching staff's torched. So,
somebody just asked me, he said, my brother turns 53 today. Can you and Dave spend 3 minutes talking about Clemson, Syracuse?
Sure. A little bit later, not right now.
Right.
Maybe we'll ask Lip, and Lip will have something on that game. I got nothing on that game.
I don't have much either on that game, but to be honest with you, I don't like Clemson off of a loss. Their season's over.
What's the spread?
I think it's 20.
Got to be a lot. Is it at Clemson?
No, it's at Syracuse. It's 6.5.
Clemson is only 6.5.
Yeah, because the season's over. They know
they're going to destroy Syracuse, are they
not?
Maybe.
All right, one more, and then we'll bring on Tommy. I get a conversation about this. What's going on with the Astros in Seattle? Like, what was that? What was that last night?
So,
I mean, you strike a guy out and you start walking at him and you're talking at him like, whoa, and it's Julio.
Hector Neris was on the Phillies a while ago, and they called him Hector Nervous because every time he came in, he walked people and put guys on, and they had to ship him out. He's in Houston. Earlier this season in Houston, Julio hit a ball that maybe still hasn't landed and danced around. He did the stop dance thing at third, then came home, and he did 18 handshakes and all this other stuff, went in the dugout, did the dance, all this other stuff. And Neris was on the mound flipping the ball, like watching the whole thing. Like I saw the video today. John Boy posted it underneath theirs. And I was like, oh. And he said a lot of things in Spanish, which apparently the translation, again, sorry, Will, was just go ahead and hit it, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. Hit the ball. Just hit the ball, you motherfucker. I think he said it like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, all right. Nice.
In Spanish.
Spanish. Okay.
Yeah. So my Spanish is, I just read a translation from someone else. Could be completely wrong, but that's what it said.
Okay.
So it's a problem when the pitchers start yapping for everybody. When the hitters do all the fun stuff, flip the bat, do all the things, take their time around the bases, the pitcher got to stand there on the mound in front of everybody knowing that he gave up that home run. And baseball guys have a problem when the pitcher chirps back. All Hector had to do was chirp and walk to his own dugout. Right. Where Hector went wrong was he chirped and he went right at Julio.
Like right at him, like not like subtly. He went beeline right at him.
Right at him.
And then Julio ran the other way. And then he ran. After Julio said, okay, let's throw, he went that way. He went no part of Julio.
Which was like, okay, you want to talk. And then Julio was like, you talking to me? Hold on here.
Yeah.
He got him out on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. He struck out the side, and he made Julio Rodriguez, one of the best players in baseball and a pretty cool dude, look bad.
Yep.
That should be enough. Just like when I say to sports books, like 11 to 10 is enough. It should be enough, and it's not. You got to push more and take more and try to take. Hector, shut up. You did your thing. Chirp off, coming off the mound, and go to your dugout, and then celebrate with your teammates. You don't need to do that. But it's September baseball. Things are heating up. We're going to have a month full of playoffs. It's tremendous. I had to tweet it this morning when I saw it because I was like, this can't be. What are we doing? You still might not make the playoffs, Houston. You still might not. It was a big swing though for the Mariners. They have to win the rest of their games.
I mean, to go in there and take 2 of 3 on the road.
Yeah.
This series with the Diamondbacks is going to be unbelievable. I mean, it's going to be
Mariners Rangers.
No, Astros Diamondbacks starts tomorrow. Astros.
Oh yeah.
Astros don't start to play. The Astros have. I mean, that's who they're. I mean, it comes down. It's just Houston and Seattle. That's it. I mean, there's 1 spot, 2 teams in the American League.
Right.
Everything else is pretty much set. So
same with the National League. 1 spot, 2 teams. Marlins, Cubs. The Reds are still alive.
Yeah, we're not mathematically there.
No,
yet.
But
I mean, Reds are the same as Seattle. They're a game and a half behind.
Yeah.
So they're 2 games in the loss column, which is tough. The Mariners are 1 game back in the loss column, and they have a game in hand today. They have a
game in hand. Yes, they do.
Today. So they better win today, and then they're 1 game back of Houston.
Big Business just came in super chat. He left the super chat. It's in blue. I can't wait till the BVB bonus time to read it.
Yes.
So I'm reading it right now.
Okay.
That Astros team is full of peckerheads.
I mean, someone tweeted that last night. They said that, there's a reason why everyone hates Houston. It's behavior like this is why everyone hates the Astros.
It just happens. Like Dusty's saying the day before about his word about his guys getting hit and all that.
I mean, that was bad. Chase McCormick got absolutely, 95 in the middle of the back.
Ooh,
that's not even. That's that's man. That's a rock. That's a 95-mile-per-hour rock in the middle of your back. No, thank you, man. He was in serious pain.
If you got to get hit, where do you want to get hit?
Thigh.
Really?
Or off the butt, one of the two. Yeah.
I need it right in the ass.
Yeah, off the butt, off the
Just
thigh.
hit me in the cheek. Got to leave a mark. It'll hurt when I sit down to poop.
If you hit me here too, if you hit me square in the delt, that's okay too. Like I gotta get some meat. You gotta hit me on a meaty part of my body. Can't get me in the back. No way, man. Back, rib cage, no thank you.
Man, oh,
that's some serious pain. And he was walking around like, oh, you could tell like someone stuck a knife in his back.
Well, did you see what he did to warrant that? He was running to first base and he almost did the A-Rod move.
Oh, he did. Yeah, right. Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
You don't do that.
You don't. You agree? I agree. You don't. It's fair.
Don't do that.
Does it warrant somebody throwing a rock at your head 95 miles per hour?
It wasn't at his head. It was at his back.
It's in my area. It's in some way.
I don't know, man. That's old school baseball justice. I don't know about all them unwritten rules, but I know he just don't be a jagoff. You know, like you always say.
You always say where are these betting rules written? I need to know where the unwritten baseball rules live. Like, where do they live?
If we find those, we're going to change the world.
Can we find it, please? Can we find these tablets that have been, 1825 carved in stone or chiseled out in stone where the baseball unwritten rules are, so we can go and uncover them? Because I tend to lose track as to what actually is and is not an unwritten rule.
I just realized Dave Staley Picks just said in the chat, the quote of the day is when I said I need it in the ass. I didn't even realize I said that, but that's what I said. And I didn't mean what he's thinking he means. I meant if I got to get beamed in a part of my body, I need it right on my cheek of my ass. Thank you. Listen, it's a morning show.
It is a morning.
We're never getting off late night. What the
On that note, let's bring on Tommy Lippert joining us here on the Bostonian versus the.
Hold on a minute.
What are you doing? Cover yourself up.
What is this? Tommy Lippert. Is it a Rob Johnson quarterback jersey?
It's a Rob Johnson jersey. That is old school.
That is an old school. Tommy, Matt, and Dave, welcome to BBB. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, guys. Pleasure.
Cover yourself up, please. My
Big
God.
time.
I mean, you
we're talking about rear ends. We're talking about asses and stuff I don't know. Keep it clean.
First of all, great to see you. I know you were up early. Listen, I knew you were up early, because you're at the gym, unlike Furman. Okay? You're
Todd was not there.
Working out at the gym.
Why are we taking down Todd? What did Todd do? Catching strays for no reason.
Listen, Furman knows why.
Okay. Yes.
Lip is at the gym working out. What class did you take this morning?
I took a Warrior Sculpt, only 45 minutes. So it's yoga, heated, a lot of push-ups, that kind of stuff with some weights and those things. So it's a good workout. I normally do like a hot heated yoga in the morning, but came on early. Looking forward to the show. So I'm just over at the gym here. We got people working out at Lifetime. Yeah, Lifetime Fitness, which is,
that's Lifetime Henderson, though, right?
Yeah, over near Green Valley, right next to Green Valley.
Yep, I'm a member of Lifetime Summerlin. I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't recognize that pool.
Yep, a couple minutes from the house. Yeah, it's nice. Anytime you guys want to come up or go over there or whatever. Yep. So that's where I'm at.
Are you looking at Ryder Cup stuff? Did you?
Yeah, big time, Dave. I mean, here's the way that I look at it. First of all, let me ask you and the viewers. I'll give you 2 seconds. Do you know what this hat is?
Is that a Ricky Fowler?
No.
No.
What is that?
So this is a Dustin Johnson hat.
Oh.
Okay. This is somebody that, since the Masters, I've been kind of soliciting myself and doing some work with and whatnot for him.
Okay.
And he didn't get picked this year for the Ryder Cup. Now they had the Ryder Cup 2 years ago when he was the only player to go 5-0 on the Ryder Cup. So I really have absolutely zero idea why he's not on the team. They're in France. This is going to be a very difficult over in Paris type of venue for them. They're really supported on the PGA Tour, the Americans. This opened up at about minus 190 on the Americans. Now they have Europe as a slight favorite. And I like Europe here. You have the Americans that have been actually not playing since the end of the Tour Championship 5 weeks ago. I expect a lot of rust coming out for these guys. Rest, whatever. I mean, you remember a couple years ago when we got drummed in France 4 years ago, Tiger won that big championship in Atlanta. The next week he went over, they were tired, exhausted, whatever. This is the complete opposite. I think they're going to be a little bit rusty here. Europe just had their flagship event down at the DP down at Wentworth, which is their huge event down there. I mean, they're loaded across the board with Victor Hovland, Rory, Rahm. You know, these top players are on top form. Maybe the last 2 or 3 guys for Europe can, you know, they're not at, you know, at everyone's level, but they can hide them the first couple until, you know, the singles match. You're going to get a ton of support in Europe. I think Europe wins. And to be honest with you, I could see a drumming.
Oh, wow. It's been a while since we've won over on European soil for the Ryder Cup. Victor Hovland today, by the way, had a hole-in-one on a par 4. So his game's looking pretty good. Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth are not playing as of right now in the first round. They're not teamed up. They're not playing here. How do you bet it? Do you bet the overall event, or do you bet head-to-heads? Do you bet individual, either whether it be best ball, 4-ball, whatever? How do you approach betting the Ryder Cup?
Well, I mean, here's the way to look at it. Like I said before, the line opened up minus 190 plus 170. So, I mean, people that really know what's going on weeks ago, they're taking this plus number with things that are going on and just bringing itself down. So, I mean, at this point, I still do think there's value in basically a pick 'em on Europe, in my opinion, if there's a blowout. I can also see taking some sort of point spread here of minus 5-point victory, something like that. That could be crazy because, I mean, you're going to get crazy odds on this. And here's the thing that people really don't know about the United States team this year. Again, my boy Dustin not getting picked this year because this team was picked by the players. You have 6 players that are qualifying for it. Brooks Koepka barely almost won the Masters Championship, came in second to Jon Rahm, turned right around, won the PGA Championship, blew out the field, and didn't even make the team on points in a 2-year qualification because he plays on LIV, and they don't get any world ranking points here. Dustin plays on LIV, doesn't play the PGA Tour. Dustin's currently ranked 120th in the world, which is absolutely comical. So there's a lot of politics and garbage that's involved with the game of golf. And in my opinion, the friends and the guys that want to be playing with each other are going over together to Europe to play together. And I don't think that's a recipe for success. Look at Team USA basketball. Sometimes you got to put guys together that don't like each other. They got to go out and actually get something done together. Not just be happy and, we're going to take pictures and go to dinners and all this other bullshit. Let's go out and get points and do what we need to do moving forward. And I like where Europe stands, and that's where I stand with it. So that's my opinion on, whatever you want to do with it.
There's so many, like with the betting markets now in different states and different books, they're offering all these different bets, like where you can bet margin of victory 1 to 3.5 points. You can bet individual guys are going to get a full point, over, under, all these different things. Lip, we got a shout out to our guy, Tom E. Tom E just texted me and said he's watching, and he said he wants to know what's under that towel. Don't show him what's under the towel. Please don't do it. It airs nationally. We all know what's under the towel. We don't need to see it. Is Rob there Johnson. A guy, not Rob Johnson, is there a guy that's going to have a Ryder Cup that we either aren't expecting or that you are expecting that's going to play like maybe almost everything and get like 3 or 4 points? Who should we really look for?
Yeah, to me, I would go with Victor Hovland. I think right now, currently, he's the best player on the world. They're going to have this golf course set up very difficult. So you got to be able to drive the ball into the fairway, do things that's going to be set up similar to a major in ways. There's going to be drivable holes. I like confidence for him where he's coming out of and things he should be playing. If anybody in the entire Ryder Cup potentially plays 5 matches, which means 2 the first day on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and the singles on Sunday, I would bet the most that on one player would be Victor going. But I don't think you're going to be able to get the odds to be able to get paid out as the highest European or highest player in the entire stuff or whatever. So I don't think there's a tremendous amount of value in that. But I do think if anybody plays 5 matches, it scoops up the most amount of points. I'd probably go with Victor.
All right. So you guys are both subjecting me to this like Jim Kelly reunion thing with Bills, everything. Yes. As we're talking right now, the Thursday move is happening. South Point's already gone down to 2.5. Caesar's at 2.5. The Bills are at home against the Miami Dolphins.
Oh boy.
The total was 49.5. It's all the way at 54 now, which that seems to be the ceiling for this. Yeah. Where are you on Dolphins at Bills on Sunday?
Okay. So first of all, I mean, as a Buffalo fan supporter, try to reach out to these guys, maybe mentally influence them, whatever you want to be calling it. All right. As a Buffalo fan, starting this week and the rest of the year, it's about us. I don't care about anything else. But Miami's been phenomenal this year. Let's face it. They have
Amazing.
Uh-oh.
You know, they're
Hold on. Bring him
he's
back.
He's back. He's
Bring
back.
him back. All right.
yeah,
you
okay.
All right,
So
yeah,
Miami, Miami is a very explosive offense. I mean, the weather looks like it's going to be nice. So are they going to be an Arsenal out here? Probably. You know what I mean? So long term, I don't look into this as everybody the game of the year kind of stuff, and it is. But I will say this about Buffalo: two things. Number one, I love Bernard last week getting Defensive Player of the Year. I thought linebacker coming in was going to be a serious issue for us. It wasn't game one against the Jets. Milano's as good as they can. But I will say this about Buffalo, and keep an eye on this moving forward. This offensive line is playing at a very, very high level. They're playing way better than I expected them coming out of the gates and doing stuff. So in that regard, our defenses look good. You know, the coaching and stuff and all the nonsense off the field with the digs and all these. I love you guys as media, but most media, I can't stand them. You know, trying to create crap and stuff or whatever. There's been a lot of new things with Josh. He's had the same girlfriend since high school. He has someone else. You know how you are, Dave. We've been together for 20 years, friends. Yep. Our priorities, things change, your kids, stuff or whatever. So I like the continuity of things in the locker room. I think we're one of the upper echelon teams in the league. Miami's, is getting a lot of support around the NFL and stuff like that. But coming in here this week, they're not getting any support. This is going to be big-time Buffalo here. We've knocked Tua out of multiple games already defensively. Boy. Yeah, coming into this game, we've had a very good record of beating them by 20-plus up to a couple games ago. They've played better coming out. If you're asking me who I like in this game, for cards, betting types of purposes, that kind of stuff or whatever, this is going to be similar to me with New Orleans and Green Bay last week, just kind of watching it. I don't have too much of an interest. You put a gun to my head. I do think we will end up on top. But, this is going to be a great game to watch. I'm taking nothing away from the Dolphins. I don't think they will be what they are right now at the end of the year.
No.
I mean, you can't ask guys to, not play at full speed. And Tua at times can't protect himself out there. Right. He has a great left tackle that's playing awesome. They're not dinged up except for Waddle last week. They played against a defense that's just been garbage. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be a really interesting game.
So, all that said, it sounded like to me, this is a perfect time to bet the Bills to win the division if you think they're going to win the division before the game, because they were the favorite until last week when Miami put up a 70-burger on the Denver Broncos. So, are you still in that corner?
I kind of
look going to win a division.
Not as much, we play Jacksonville, next week in our division and stuff is what it is. I think that I don't think there's a tremendous amount of value in that regard types of stuff. I was looking at the markets today. You're looking at like stretched out AFCs at like, potentially Jacksonville at like 20s I've seen out there. I've seen the Cincinnati number climb up into like, the double digits, types of things here. To me, this looks like value. What happens if something happens to Josh? What happens if the best player on the planet by a long shot and Mahomes gets hurt? I do see value in some of this stuff coming in, this week in that regard. To tie up, money, Dave, on a division, with injuries, the way Miami.
I know you don't like to do it. I know you don't
well,
like
no,
to
no,
do
I do it. I do it. People yell at me and say, why do you do that? Because it's my money and I'll tie it up where I want to.
I've seen you do it. But
yes.
you lock in prices way before, like you've done this before, where you lock in a number that doesn't exist in a month. And it's just, it's a good number. Now, it doesn't always get there, but we've shared some meals and we've talked about some things in November and December. And I'm like, what made you even buy that? And you're like, well, I was seeing this, I was seeing that. That's why I asked. How has how are you doing the contest? How's the contest been going for you?
Yeah, well, two things this year, in the contest, Dave, you're on my shit list because you were supposed to come down Monday night with me and the boys on the Jets game when we ended up blowing that team second half. I didn't see your ass. So
I know.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, but you were in the doghouse for a while. I'm not blaming you for the loss. But I had those on. Yeah, well, you got kids and stuff, so no problem. And Sharapan, on the other one, you are on my good list because I got knocked out in Survivor. I played very aggressively. I played Washington on all my cards. 10 entries. I had the Giants on all these things. I get through whatever, and I'm going to be okay. I'll be smart this week. Go Jacksonville and I'll take a little Baltimore. And I'm like, no. I want to get New England out of the way. Let's use New England this week against the Jets. We know what happens every week. And I don't. I was thinking about you. That's on me. I owe you whatever kind of dinner you want. On you.
Jacksonville.
You can listen. Yes, I did. And I had the Texans on cards. The contest this week has been around 500, a little above, kind of stuff, whatever. Week 2 was a killer for me. I had Cleveland against Pittsburgh. That hurt.
Right.
And then a couple other coin tosses. Jacksonville, KC could have won either way there. And then a little bit, I like Green Bay. But, yeah, the contests have been, the quarterlies and stuff, whatever, long year. But that's what it is so far.
Okay.
Where are you on the games overseas? We start the London games this weekend. We got Germany games coming up. Can you handicap them, or are they just line through games because they're getting played in stadiums that don't normally host football?
Well, Jackson's been there for a couple of years. It's almost a home team. They're very comfortable with going over there. They get support over there and whatnot. I do believe in them long term. I don't know if it was a hangover last week with the KC game for them. I still believe in them. I do think they need to get some toughness. I mean, maybe somebody grabs, Trevor by the hair and something and wait, But I believe in Jacksonville. Atlanta, to me, is a complete fraud. I think nothing of them. I think their defense is somewhat of a fraud on third downs, and they're going to have trouble getting off. I don't think that much of them. Ritter is a little RPO guy that's going to get dinged up. So, in this game here, what is it? 3? It's pretty much painted 3 across
flat,
the board. Yeah. In this kind of stuff or whatever, I think it'll probably settle in around that number. Maybe, the markets, they'll move it back and forth what they want to or whatever. But it's in this game for me, definitely Jacksonville or nothing. I don't think Atlanta can play from behind.
They cannot.
If they get behind, what's going to happen if they get behind in games?
They're going to lose. That's
That's right.
the MO. Last one for me, Lip. And if Matt has one for you after that, otherwise we'll let you go. Perrault has entered into the world of high stakes fantasy. And I can't think of a better high stakes fantasy guy than you. There's you at the top of the list with a couple other guys.
Well, year long for sure.
Year long. This is a year long league.
It's a year long league. Yep.
Okay.
He's now in a world, and he started 0-2, came back and won last week. But this waiver wire thing has him a bit not quite understand, because it's a blind bid auction.
Okay.
Can you explain how to spend a dime? He has a dime in money to spend on these. How much should he put in a bid for to get a guy, a free agent or somebody? And is there a free agent right now in week 4 that maybe only guys like the Lip might recommend?
Well, like I said, this is going to be to each own. I think when it comes to the auctions, all those types of things, every single situation is going to be different. Your record's going to be involved. Who do you have strength at, positioning? Who are, where are you at kind of stuff or whatever. So, on the waiver wire, are you looking for somebody immediately? You want somebody to come in and be able to contribute on your team? Do you need somebody that you're looking at maybe a little bit longer term, like maybe a Quentin
Mike
Johnson?
Williams. He got to replace Mike Williams. He needs a wide receiver this week.
So Palmer obviously is a gigantic. He's going to be an instant contributor. The same thing happens every single year in that offense for the Chargers. As soon as he goes down, Palmer comes in and they go to him. Eckler's, I saw him. He's potentially going to probably play this year or whatever, which probably will open the offense up, because I picked up Joshua Kelly in week 2, which is a complete nightmare because I missed the Rams guys and all these other guys because of picking up the wrong guy to try and pick it up for a week. So I do think that long term, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to play him. I wasn't even pickled there. So I do think there's decision making. Do you need it this week? It's a Palmer. Do you want somebody long term? It's probably maybe a Quentin Johnson that gets more, facilitated and more comfortable lining up and doing the things that are confusing him, so he just has to let it come on play. So that's my strategy on it. Again, when you're doing the auction kind of stuff or whatever, you're going to get the amount for the season. So probably if you're 1-2, you might have to be more aggressively to try and get into the playoffs instead of staying 3-0, maybe waiting later and then something happens and all of a sudden you've got everything to get that one player everybody wants later on. So I think there's different types of, strategies involved, obviously variants later on. I take Garrett Wilson. Now I've got issues with him, with Rodgers. So there's just so many moving parts, Dave, in year long.
Do you recommend Like, how many waiver wire moves do you normally do per year in a league? Like, if you have $1,000 to play with, do you go and do 3 or 4, or do you try to do like 10 and try to break it up?
Yeah, again, like I said, it depends. I mean, if you're sitting on Alvin Kamara and you're sitting on Jonathan Taylor, you're probably not making a lot. You know what I mean? Like, but if, again, if you have you're sitting on guys that have gotten hit and they're hurt and you have, the possibility of picking up a Palmer that's going to be for a month, probably getting 8 targets a game that you need as a flex, or you have to have as a wide receiver and go other dimensions, you have to be more aggressive and go get those players now. Because he's going to be, they're not going to bring in a Devontae Adams to come. No, I mean, they have what they are.
Right.
Oh. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. All right.
He's
back.
You're going to insert them. So that's, just lots of moving parts.
Is your hair in a ponytail right now?
Yeah, it is.
Looks amazing.
It looks like shit. It looks like shit.
The chat has said you kind of look like Brad Pitt.
Oh,
the chat is loving this whole interview. The shot looks great and all this other stuff. And they
get that guy. He gets a steak dinner on me. We're going out. Whoever that is, whatever he wants, he can have whatever he wants on me. Drinks, anything. You know me, Dave. I'm good for it.
You're definitely good for it, Lip. Excellent spot today. Thank you, sir. For
good
joining
job,
us.
my friend.
Really
Enjoy
appreciate it.
I would say
reach out for that waiver wire pick on the side. We're going to give you options. So thank you, sir. Good luck, Bills.
Appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon. That's Tommy Lips
brother.
joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Good to get him on the program. Good shot, good conversation, and it will hopefully help me. I'm going to go pick up Joshua Palmer later today. See if I can go.
That sounds like listen, when he tells you that, like, you got to do it as soon as the show's over.
Oh, of course.
Before the appointment, just put it in. Spend. I'm guessing you got a dime. He's going to go in your lineup, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good
200.
Yeah.
Put in 200 in that shot. Make sure you get them.
So that's my only question was how much money to commit to it of the money to go ahead and do it, because if I go 2-2, if I win this weekend, I'm 2-2. I'm right
You're
back.
fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, this is an important.
You're fine game. If you're 1-3, as long as you got. It's not the end of the world. Like all you have to do is just get to 500 by week 10. However you get there, whatever path.
Well, no, because the playoffs, the way this high stakes fantasy way it works is, it's a shorter year than others.
Right. You got to be 500, and then with 3 weeks to go, right? It's start week. Did you just tell me week 13 is the last week of the season?
Yeah, 14 and 15. It's top 4 teams get in the playoffs.
Right.
First place team wins $1,000. Second place team wins $500, but you get entered into $1 million playoff. And all the leagues together get combined. The top team wins $1 million. So just an idea of where we are.
Saying, if you win $1 million, things are going to change.
I'm not winning $1 million. I suck at
fantasy.
I suck.
Don't say it.
I can say it. I can tell you right now, I'm not winning this league, but it's fun. We're
going to transfer the ownership of the team to my name if you win $1 million. If you know what I'm saying. Can't have you winning $1 million right now with the current situation.
Very true. That's if I'm even in the play, if I even make it out of the round, winning $1,000, you may be doing that. So
we got it. Yeah. Well, that. Oh, that was Dave's team. I just have.
What are you talking about? Can I say something really quick before we move on?
Yes.
Curt Schilling is responsible for the greatest sports memory I have.
What in the world went on there this morning, Perrault? Please say
Curt Schilling has me very conflicted because he's done a lot of things in his post Red Sox career, whether it be ripping off the state of Rhode Island, whether it be some of the racist diatribes he's made and things he's posted and things he's said.
God.
I'm always very conflicted because this man got me onto the field in Colorado in 2007 to be with the Red Sox after they won the World Series. And I will never, it wasn't directly. I was with Michael Chiklis. Michael Chiklis got us onto the field because Michael Chiklis knew Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling got us onto the field. I have pictures of me, Curt Schilling, me and Michael Chiklis, me on the field, me with Mike Lowell. There's a bunch of pictures with me with Red Sox players as they're celebrating their championship. But what Curt Schilling did this morning, of all the nasty stuff that Curt Schilling has done, this might be the lowest of the low. Curt Schilling this morning on his podcast decided to tell the world that Tim Wakefield, his former teammate, knuckleballer, championship player for the Red Sox, has brain cancer. The family did not want it out. The family, in his statement, as he's telling the world, he says, I don't even know if the family wants this out or not, but Tim Wakefield has brain cancer. Family didn't want it. Family wanted
Why would
to be
he
private.
do it?
I have no idea. The Boston Red Sox just issued this statement today saying, we are aware of the statements and the inquiries about the health of Tim and Stacey Wakefield. Unfortunately, this information has been shared publicly without their permission. Their health is a deeply personal matter they intended to keep private as they navigate treatment and work to tackle this disease. Tim and Stacey are appreciative of the support and love that's always been extended. Let me pull this down so you can get the full to them respectfully, and they ask for privacy at this time. He's got brain cancer. This dude's fighting for his fucking life. And you're going to go and make it public when they don't want it public.
Are they friends?
It doesn't. I don't know. They were teammates. They know each other.
Like, we've all worked with people and, like, you know, been teammates with people that we don't talk to once we're done working or playing with them.
So you think it's your place to tell his medical history, his medical?
No, at all. That's what I mean. Like, why would he do this?
Because Curt Schilling is not a. He's not a.
Is he all there?
Person. I don't know. He's not a thoughtful person. He's not a thoughtful. He doesn't think things through. He just, for what we've seen in his post career, he does a lot of things that are really shady. And this might be the shadiest of all. Catherine Veritek, wife of Jason Veritek, said, F you, Curt Schilling. That wasn't your place today. Like, there are people in the Red Sox organization and the Red Sox family who are extremely angry about this.
Mad.
Like, really, like, there's Red Sox beat writers who are like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I don't even know. Am I supposed to write about this? Am I supposed to comment on this? The family clearly does not want this out there. But Schilling just made this public, and now we know Tim Wakefield is battling for his life.
Tim Wakefield came up with the Pirates, man. I was there when he was doing that, you know, as a just starting in his career. I love Tim Wakefield. He took Pittsburgh by storm. He came in and pitched the back end of the season, won games. I think he won every game but one when he came up. And then he went to the Red Sox. Always had a soft spot for him. You got to love the knuckleball pitchers because it's just different, and it looks like every guy could do it. But when somebody gets a diagnosis like that, I mean, that one, I had no idea. And I saw your tweet, quote tweeting Veritek's wife, and I was like, oh, when the wives get involved, and it was a, you know, there was no disguising what she was saying. I was like, you know, why would you say it if you didn't know it was okay to say? Like, there's a reason. It's not by accident, right?
I don't know. I mean, he could be just that dumb. I mean,
Benny just came in the chat and said because he's a jagoff.
Yeah, I mean, he could be just he has said really nasty things in his life. He said very anti-Semitic, very awful, questioning things. He's been a propaganda pusher of right-wing stuff for a long time. But this just crosses the line.
There was a Wakefield documentary. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Chris Covey, Mr. C just came in and said there was a Wakefield documentary. Put it in a chat where that's available. I'll go watch that tonight.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Tim Wakefield will always be known. You know, he was the guy on the mound when Aaron Boone hit the home run in 2003.
Oh, man.
And then the next year came back and was a part of the championship team.
Right.
And I mean, Red Sox fans were so happy for him because it wasn't his fault. He was on the mound. He was a knuckleballer on the mound with the season on the line in the ALCS. Like, you don't want a knuckleballer on the line, but he was the closer. I mean, he was the Red Sox closer.
That was such a crazy year, that whole thing. But then they won the next year. Ross Randall came in the chat and said, no, Dave, he's not all there. Maybe there is something wrong with Schilling.
I mean, how would you like to be the Red Sox today? That, like, they have to issue a statement about one of their former pitchers who helped to break the curse, who pitched with the bloody sock, who you want to revere and hold up for what he's done, but he breaks like one of the most just basic human principles. that somebody who's sick with brain cancer and they don't want it known, and the public gets to know because you get to tell the public about it, not the family, but you. I mean, the Red Sox clearly knew, but like, how did they must have been disgusted today going, wait a minute, he did what? He said what? He didn't really do that, did he? Like, their privacy, they're private people. They don't want anyone knowing that they're going through this.
Right.
After the fact, but he's fighting for his life. He has brain cancer. And you just decide to say it publicly? Like, how much of Jagoff doesn't even take it. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah.
What describes who you're an awful human being. You're just a bad person to do this.
It's a sensitive situation, and you should know that. And you should definitely check with the family about, one, how are they? How's Tim? And then ask for permission. Say, like, hey, I do the show. Can I mention it? I'm just going to mention it to people because people love you and they want to, maybe thoughts and prayers or whatever. Just to not do that and just blurt it out. And that's probably just, there may be people looking for this guy for doing this. Like, this is one of those things you just don't do. It's bad.
It's so crazy. Schilling said, I don't even know if he wants it shared, but as a Christian and a man of faith, I've seen prayer work, so I'm going to talk about it.
Oh.
He then went and said that he's battling a very serious, very aggressive form of brain cancer. Schilling went on to call the situation incredibly serious, adding that Wakefield recently underwent surgery for the issues. The family didn't want that known. Look, my former brother-in-law died of brain cancer.
Yep.
If you guys know the juice, you remember the story with Daryl.
Yep.
And it was the first time I had to introduce my daughter to death and explain why a 31-year-old, 32-year-old man was fighting for his life. It sounds like Schilling may have revealed that Tim is dealing with something of a similar nature. Brain cancer, aggressive forms of brain cancer, it is like the worst thing in the world when the doctor tells you have a 10% chance to live.
Ooh.
Like, this. It's not like you're unconscious. It's not like you've been in a car accident. It's you sit in the room and they show you the scans and they say this is the battle. This is the process. We're going to take it. But, I hate to say this, but like, we only have, 9 out of 10 people who get this die. Like, you're dealing with your kids, your life, your mortality. You don't get to just say, because I'm a man of faith, we need to pray for Tim Wakefield without talking to Tim Wakefield.
Right.
Like, if he asks for that support, if Tim says, I need the power of prayer, okay, awesome. Like, let's go. Everyone amplify it. They didn't want anyone to know about it.
That's the thing. Like, I will never forget the day that my dad called me and said, I got a brain tumor. Dave, we were operating on Thursday and it was Tuesday. I was like, okay, I'm an open person. So like, I would tell everybody, but I wouldn't tell. If my dad said, don't say anything, I wouldn't say anything. Right. Like, it's very simple. Or if my mom said, listen, I know you want to tell people, and then if people want to reach out to me and your dad or to you, but I don't want you to say anything. Okay, I'm not going to say anything. Like, it's such a weird thing to do.
You make it about you.
And I was going to say, it seems selfish, no?
Yeah, of course it is. It makes it about you.
Are we doing this for clicks?
I don't know what you do. I guess so. Kurt Schilling wants to do it because he wants to be, I don't know, he thought he was doing a good deed. Like, I don't even know if the family wants this out there or not, but like, we all need to pray for Tim Wakefield because Tim's dying. Wait, what? That's not your place. And what if Tim Wakefield hates your guts?
Oh,
like, what if Tim Wakefield wants no part of you? Like, Tim Wakefield never likes you. And then and you're like, well, Tim and I don't talk. He doesn't really like me, but I heard he's fighting brain cancer. So let's help him out.
So in that situation, you say, you know what, a former teammate of mine just got some bad news about his health. We're just putting out the prayers and for him and his family, and just say it anonymously, and leave it at that. If you want to make it about you, and then someone will say, well, who are you talking about? I'm telling you who I'm talking about. But my teammate knows, my former teammate, whatever, and leave it at that.
Yeah, talk about like he doesn't want it out there, but or I don't know if I'm not going to disclose the person, but like understand that life is fleeting. Understand that our
Right.
time here is very precious,
Yeah.
and like you can use it in different ways if you want, without being naming the person and being very specific as to what the person's dealing with.
Right.
He has brain cancer. He's undergone surgery. Like I don't know what the HIPAA laws are. I don't know what the violation is, but like people are saying like, I don't know what the law is, but like Curt Schilling to go to jail for this. Like it's for what he's just done. People's privacy is, I mean, this is, you don't air this publicly unless you have permission to do so.
Connor Winsky came in with a good question just now in the chat. Who in the hell told Schilling anyways?
Well, I mean, the brotherhood of the Boston of a baseball world, I'm sure it's known in the baseball world that Timmy's not doing well. Like, you know, I know people I've worked with in radio 10, 15 years ago that I don't know or talk to anymore, but I'll hear stories about like, hey, so-and-so's not doing very well. You just hear about the stories through the grapevine.
Right.
But I would never go on a podcast and be like, hey, by the way, you know that guy who was doing afternoon drive in Huntsville when I was doing morning drive? Yeah, he's really sick. Like you wouldn't do that. Like you wouldn't just out like that.
Right.
It's just horrific that this has gone on, and it's trending. I mean, it's all over social media. TMZ's written a story about it. It's everywhere. And so now, because of the controversy of what Curt Schilling said and the blowback from Catherine Veritek, the Red Sox statements, and so on, it's amplified it even more.
Right.
That it's out there.
Right. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I mean, it's just, and so many of us have different, you know, experiences with something like this, you know, with like your former brother-in-law and, you know, my dad, big business, just came in the chat and said, you know, he almost lost a brother to it. When it hits you personally and you know what that feeling is like, and then you have somebody out talking about your business publicly, can't imagine what they're thinking on their end. Like, why did he say this? Like, you think I don't know. It's one of those stories that popped up this morning, and I was like, well, that wasn't on the rundown, but we're definitely talking about that.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things, I think, from a Red Sox standpoint, like the Phillies have a Curt Schilling plaque. He's on their wall of fame. I don't know if he's the Hall of Fame or it's like the Wall of Honor, whatever the Phillies do. The Curt Schilling's up there.
Okay.
There's been talk about like Red Sox fans want, at the time, they wanted a Curt Schilling statue, a Bloody Sox statue at Fenway. Yeah. Curt Schilling was, when he left Boston, that guy would never have had to pay for a single drink or dinner for the rest of his life. That guy was, I told you when I was on the field and his agent came up to me and said 38. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, look at the Red Sox logo. It says 38. And you can see it literally. I don't have the Red Sox hat here, but like you can see it with the way the B is written, like behind me. It's behind me. See right behind? See the 3 and the 8 right there? The 3 and the 8 is in that 3. If you look at the B a certain way, it says 38. That's Schilling's number. It was 38. And he goes, nothing was going to happen until Schilling showed up. Like, that's where we were with him.
Right.
And then the conspiracy theory stuff came out. Then the anti-Semitic stuff came out. Then the political stuff came out. And then the Rhode Island thing, when he ripped off the state of Rhode Island thing, came out. And it was just all negative. And it pushed, divided people on Schilling and whatnot. And like, there were certain media members that loved him and kept on putting him on, and others that, despised him.
Right.
But this, I think, cuts him off from the Red Sox, the team. This makes the Red Sox say when they do reunions, when they do, next year, the 2004 team is going to be honored next year. 20-year anniversary, 20 years from the Red Sox. They're going to be all at Fenway Park. Not going to be stunned if Wakefield's there that Schilling's not invited, which is insanity if you think about it. Like Curt Schilling, Bloody Sock Curt Schilling is not going to be invited to the 2024 20-year reunion.
I would bet that no.
I would bet the no. I would bet the no that he's been cut off from Red Sox events for what he just did by outing this and creating the situation from team. So it just sucks. The whole thing, that just absolutely 100% sucks. Okay, some games for tonight, baseball wise. Arizona minus 170 against the White Sox. They've been absolutely punking the White Sox, slamming them.
Yeah.
Seems a little light at 170, no?
No, I mean, how high can you make it? This is it. Oh, no, it looks like it's going up to one.
It's not 210. It's not. I mean, they won 3-0. They won 3-0 and 15-4 the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's going up. It's 180. Holy crap.
I mean, if the Dodgers are minus 220 today against the Rockies, why aren't the Diamondbacks the same price?
Jarvis? I don't know. Might be some hesitation. They're going to win. There's no reason to bet the White Sox. Zero.
No.
Zero.
The D-backs need it. They need the win. I mean, they absolutely
I don't want to talk about needing it. It's just like the White Sox. This is one of those ones you could lay the run line. I think, can you get plus, even money? Maybe? Run line? Arizona?
Let me see. Hold on. Arizona run line.
They give you the minus, small minus.
That would be
probably minus 110.
Minus
1.5.
Where's that game? Arizona, the extra
Autumn.
game. It's even. Yep. Open it even. It's minus 110 now. Yeah, South Point's at 15. Circa's at 10.
That's the play.
Wow. How about that? Okay. We'll talk about that bet here in a second. Cubs, Atlanta. Total's 9.5. Books don't know what to do with this.
He's trying to get to the playoffs.
It went
Books
10.5.
keep putting up the same number.
It was 10.5 yesterday. It was bet down to 9. I bet the 9, flew over. Day before that, I bet 9.5, flew over. Over again?
Yeah. Stroman making his first start back, right? Stroman's been hurt.
Oh, God. Against this lineup? That's not good. I wouldn't want to do that.
I think Stroman's been first start back. Who's pitching for Atlanta? What does that say? Smith? What?
Right.
Who is this? Hold on. Let me see. I didn't look at no emails or anything yet this morning.
Smith. It's the Smith Shannon.
Let me see. Smith Shaver.
He's pitched for a while. He's a kid, but he's come up and pitched for him a bunch. Smith Shaver. Yeah. Yeah. He came up. The last time he pitched for the Braves was on the 30th of July. He's pretty good. He's had good starts at home.
So Stroman was capped at 3 innings against Colorado when he came off the IL. I don't know how many innings he's going to pitch. Just turns into a bullpen game. This thing will be over by the 6th.
He gave up 3 earned runs in 3 innings against Colorado in a 6-3 win on the 23rd. So earlier this week. So he's pitching on 3 days rest.
He only threw 3 innings. This note here says he could be capped around 75 to 90 pitches. He pitched 64 on Saturday, and then look for Javier Assad to come out of the bullpen, who he tossed 4 scoreless frames.
I mean, can you believe that the Cubs threw a rookie in the moment last night in the 10th inning?
Yes.
They threw a kid who's never closed a game in Major League Baseball before.
Yes.
They put that kid with the game on the line. They scored in the top of the 10th, and they brought in the kid. It was 5-4. Braves win the game 6-5.
It's the end of the season, and everybody's tired, arms hurt, whatever. Like this is just all hands on deck. Hey, kid, go in there and get us a save. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough spot to be in, but not surprised at all. I'm not even surprised they blew the game again. Like after that night, 2 nights ago, when they lost that ball in the lights.
Yep.
And they lost. Are they going to win another game?
No.
The Cubs may not win another game. Iggy was right.
Yeah, they know it.
Iggy said it to me in the text. He's like, it was a nice season.
Yep.
It's done.
It's
done.
Used
your warm bed line last night with Wetzel. He loved it. I said, Cubs fans just crawled into a warm bed, pulled the blanket up, and went to sleep. I said, yeah, it was a fun season. It's done.
Thank you very much. We're used to this feeling.
Yeah.
If you do Diamondbacks money line in the over 9.5, 2-leg money line parlays plus 200.
Oh.
You don't even need to bet. You don't even need to bet the run line. You can bet Braves. If you don't do the total and just Braves money line, which is interesting. That's a plus 170 parlay.
Oh,
Diamondbacks Braves.
Well, I mean, the Braves just won 2 games against the Cubs, right? And the price is lower now
because of the pitcher. Yeah,
I understand, but like, are you seeing what's going on with the lineup? Like, it just
I don't know. It's a great. I mean, it's really short priced. I mean, this is where I think you do take the Braves money line just because forget about the total.
right.
The Braves they're going to win the game. The Braves are going to win the game. You would think.
Is everybody playing
For the Braves,
Gotta get
that's
confirmation on the lineup,
that's the
right.
question because they clinched the 1 seed last night.
That's it.
That's
right?
the other reason why it's down where it is. So that's my only. It's why I didn't bet it last night. That's my hesitation as to what's the lineup and do they give a flip. We know the Diamondbacks care, so they need it.
Wow. Cubs play the Reds this weekend.
Yeah, they both need it.
Elimination.
Yep. Well,
series.
they both might not make it. Dodgers are minus 220. I was so frustrated. I should have bet team total over with the Dodgers last night. It was 6.5. They scored 8. Rockies just didn't score enough to get to the over. It was I bet over 11.
What was the final? 8-2?
8-2. Yeah. Rockies offense, they have no interest right now. They are absolutely, completely, and totally checked out. They do not care. Could you do Dodgers run line today?
Why not? It's flexing.
Right?
Flexing used to be a thing. Flexing day.
Yarborough is going for the Dodgers. It's going to be a bullpen game for the Dodgers.
Right.
So that's my curiosity on the total of 11.5.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's flexing for them. You do Diamondbacks money line, Dodgers run line is plus 160.
Oh, look at you putting together all these 2-teamers for guy that doesn't bet baseball. You're betting a lot of baseball.
Well, I need a half a unit. I have one bet yet to make here today that I'm
Cubs play the Brewers, not the Reds. I apologize. Thanks, Whitrock.
Okay.
That's right. I knew that.
Okay.
I looked down and I saw Rainmaker.
I'm
Who has
searching
the Reds this weekend? That's the question I have for Lou.
I'm searching for a 2-leg money line, a 2-leg parlay that I'm going to put together for half a unit today.
On baseball.
On baseball, yeah. I'm sliding around trying to find the value, the best price on that. I do like the Diamondbacks Dodgers run line. I like that bet. That's the leader in the clubhouse at the moment. But 11.5 is too high. You can do team total Dodgers too. Dodgers, will they let me parlay that? I don't know if I can actually parlay that because team total for the Dodgers today is 6.5 again. I mean, they scored 8. They scored 8 yesterday. They scored 11 the day before.
It's a lot. I
It's
guess
flexing. They're playing everybody still. I mean, they haven't sat anybody down yet.
Right.
I mean, Freddie Freeman had a hell of a game yesterday.
Oh, the Reds played the Cardinals.
Oh, easy on that. It's easier. Texas at Seattle. Tough game.
Playoff series starts right there, right?
Right.
I mean, they played already 3 games. Texas laid it on them, right? I mean, and then tonight, Montgomery's a dog. Gilbert's small favorite. We've used this term in the past, but I think it's real. It's a must win for Seattle.
Well, being game and a half out, yeah.
They have to have it. They got Gilbert on the mound.
7.5 is total.
Yeah.
Super low.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a playoff game. If you don't watch football tonight, this is the game to watch. Texas at Seattle is the game of the night. If you don't want to watch it.
I've been watching the last 2 nights. I've been watching Houston and Seattle. I'll definitely be watching Texas, Seattle tonight. Wow, Spentana. Alan Spentana in the chat. It's 3 days. He's going to be in Vegas, baby.
What's up?
Better bring your patience pills. You're going to need if you're down on the strip. There's a lot of stuff going on down there right now. It's a lot of things, but we'll be happy to have you.
Yeah, come on in. All right, so here's the scenarios. Astros are off. Major League Baseball has put this out, MLB.com. 3-team or 4-team tie, okay? For the American League, if there was going to be a 4-way tie for 3 spots, Astros, Mariners, Rangers, Blue Jays, if they tie, okay? The Mariners are in, the Astros are in, the Rangers are in, and the Blue Jays are out.
Oh, okay.
If all 4 teams finish with the same record, ties would be settled in the following order. The AL West tiebreaker between the Astros, Mariners, and Rangers, the title breaker. Second would be AL wildcard berth tiebreaker between the Blue Jays and the 2 remaining West clubs. And the third would be the AL wildcard berth tiebreaker between the 2 clubs that were remaining. I'm not going to go into all of the situations because they're all crazy, but
Right.
if you are a Blue Jay fan, you do not want to see Astros, Mariners, Rangers, Blue Jays tie 4 teams for 3 spots.
Is that actually possible?
Yes.
Still possible right now.
This article was written this morning. It was written 41. This article was written 41 minutes ago. 3-way tie scenario for 2 spots. The Blue Jays claim the second wild card. The Astros, Mariners, and Rangers, they all tie. This would be Mariners, Astros would be in, Rangers would be out. If all 3 AOS clubs finish tied with worse records than the Blue Jays, Toronto would be the second AL wildcard.
Okay.
The tie for the AL West would be settled using the same 3-team tiebreaker steps mentioned above. The Mariners would win the division.
Okay.
The tie between Houston and Texas for the third wildcard spot would go to the Astros because they won the series against the Rangers 9-4.
Whoa.
Another scenario. If the Astros win the American League West
Okay.
and the Mariners, Rangers, and Blue Jays tie,
Okay.
Rangers, Mariners are in, Blue Jays are out.
Blue Jays are out. Wow.
Okay. If the Rangers win the AL West, the Astros, Mariners, Blue Jays tie, the Mariners and Blue Jays are in, and the Astros are out.
Right.
That's the American League. For the National League, a 4-way tie for 2 spots. If the D-backs, Cubs, Marlins, and Reds all tie, which is possible, Marlins, Reds make it, Cubs, Diamondbacks do not.
Oh,
The third-
wow.
So the
I
4
thought the
teams.
Diamondbacks were pretty much in. Wow.
Yeah. Second wild card spot.
My
would go to
head's
the-
going to explode with all these
I know.
tiebreaker scenarios. Oh my
would go
God.
to the team with the best winning percentage against the other tied clubs. The Marlins at 611, better than the Diamondbacks at 550, Reds 538, and the Cubs at 346. The third wild card would then go to the Reds because they own a winning record against the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, 7-6, 4-3. If it comes down to 1 spot for 4 teams and they all tie, this is not happening because the Padres are part of this, and that's not going to happen. But
They're out. Are they not? They don't have the E. The Padres don't have the E
No.
eliminated.
the Padres would.
This is perfect timing for you to freeze. You guys got a headache? I got a headache. This is crazy. He went deep on this. You went
Okay, I'm back.
balls deep. Oh, you're back. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So in that scenario, the Padres make it. The other 3 do not.
Padres aren't making it. Put
I
it.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
That's
That's
dumb.
dead. And then one final. Oh no, there's a couple more. Oh my God, this is nuts. Let's see. Let's talk about actual real situations here because they give you a lot of ones that aren't real.
Can the Pirates make it still? No.
No. The Marlins claim the second wild card spot. The D-backs, Cubs, and Reds tie. The Reds would make it. D-backs, Cubs would be out. The D-backs claim the second wild card spot, which is probable. Cubs, Marlins. Okay, this is possible now. Diamondbacks claim the second wild card spot. Very possible behind the Phillies.
Okay.
Cubs, Marlins, and Reds all tie, which is
Cubs,
possible.
Marlins,
It's
and
1
Reds
game
all
separating.
tie. Okay. Yes.
Although the Marlins and Reds each won their season series against the Cubs, they split 6 head-to-head games.
Okay.
Meaning the third wild card would go to the team with the best winning percentage against the other 2 tied clubs. In this scenario, the Marlins would win the third tiebreaker because of their 583 winning percentage against is better than the Reds and the Cubs. So Marlins have played well in games that really matter for these situations.
Oh.
I'm not doing it with the Padres because they're in. If the Cubs are out, I'm not doing that because the Cubs aren't making it. Okay. So if the Diamondbacks, Marlins, and Reds tie.
Hold on. Who? The Reds, the Diamondbacks, and the
And the
Marlins?
This is
Okay.
possible. This
Yeah.
is a possible
This is
situation.
very possible. Yeah.
Marlins and Reds are in. Diamondbacks are out.
Diamondbacks better win 2 of 3 this weekend against the Astros because
The
they don't
Marlins-
sound like they win one of these tiebreakers.
Marlins have a 583, have the highest winning percentage against the other tied clubs in this scenario. So they would get that second wild card. The Reds would get the third wild card because they won their season series against Diamondbacks 4-3. Yeah. Diamondbacks do not have many of these tiebreakers. If they wind up tied, Diamondbacks could very well wind up out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Can you still bet to make the playoffs? Are those markets still available?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. I mean, they become basically a 3-game parlay or 4-game parlay, depending how many games these teams have left. Let's see. Baseball.
I don't see it up at. I have division winners.
Right.
Only for the AL West only, which is the Rangers are minus 1450 to win the West. Yeah, FanDuel doesn't have it up.
No. Team to win 100+ regular season games. The Dodgers are minus 600. The Rays are plus 600. You can bet that?
Only teams left.
To win 100? How many games do the Dodgers have? Wins?
The Dodgers have 97, right? Dodgers have 98 wins.
And they have 4 games left?
Yep.
To win 100+, they're going to win. They got to win 2 games?
Yeah.
Of the 4?
That's why it's minus 600. Rays have 97, so they got to win 3. They got to go 3-1 to get there.
Oh, man. I mean, you could just bet those individually that way. But like the Dodgers laying 600, that's going to win.
Right.
It's done.
So good stuff with baseball. Welcome to Mobile Sports Betting for Kentucky. They are live today.
They are.
They're going to get absolutely run over from people from Ohio.
You think?
Oh, they're 18, Dave. 18-year-olds are going to roll over the border, jump into Kentucky and start firing.
Yeah. Well,
bonuses and all the other fun stuff that are available now. The governor is going to use this to run for re-election. It's amazing.
For real?
Yeah, he's been pushing it heavy in Kentucky. I'm the guy that got it done. I got us gambling.
Boy, oh boy.
Because, I mean, remember, Churchill Downs and the horse racing community really did not want this. They pushed back hard.
Well, they're going to find out. They're going to find out. Good luck. Wish you well. Call us when you want to be on the show. You can reach out. Boston versus the book. Matt's at Sports Talk Matt. I'm at Sports BK and Sig. Love to have you on the show. Dubsy. Dubsy might appear on the show tomorrow from
Let's go
the track.
Ooh.
We do a little bit of a hit there. I'm trying to getting him to respond. You know, he kind of went big time on us and he's doing all this stuff. So
he's going to hate you for saying that. But
no, I talk to him I text him every day. And then, you know, he doesn't text me back when I say, yeah, we can have you on for 15 minutes. Just use your phone. It's fine. It's not, you know, the stand up with the camera and this and that, but it'll work. We just want to talk to you and see you. And you can leave your shirt on. Because the one time he came on, feels like he has to live up to that every time. We don't want to see you without your shirt on. Just come on the show.
I don't think he was sober in that moment either. So
I don't think he was sober, and I don't know what he was doing, but he was not.
He was getting all big. He was getting all big. He was getting all swole.
So they've had mobile, right? And now they have retail. Oh no, they had retail, and now they have mobile.
Correct.
Do you think people will go to the track again because of the sports betting?
No.
That's the reality of the situation.
But they're going to fire. Kentucky people are going to fire. They're SEC degenerates. They're going to fire on college football like crazy.
You think?
Oh, my God, yes. And all the surrounding states that want the bonuses, that they've either been legal in their states, like Tennessee people who saw the bonuses when they went legal, are all coming over into Kentucky to sign up. Same thing in Ohio. Bonus whores are strapping it on today. They are coming down. They are all in, man. They are in. They are looking to have some fun, lubed up and ready to go. Yep. They are in.
I don't believe what you just said in 2 sentences.
100%. Yes.
Lubed up and ready to
go. Uh-huh.
We're never getting off the late night ever.
You're at 10:30 in the morning in Pacific time. But that's absolutely what the bonus whores are all ready to go. Yeah. They're all
Speaking of which, did you see that story I sent you from the Review Journal?
About?
This morning. I sent you and Jess that story.
Oh, the guy that claims that he didn't remember bringing up 2 prostitutes to his room that robbed him. How did they get there? I don't know how they got there.
They took all my stuff.
Sir, these women were with you in your room. I don't know how they got there. I don't prostitutes. We're prostitutes. I don't who gets prostitutes in Vegas. My
4
God,
o'clock
dude.
in the morning, he leaves the blackjack table with 100 dimes. He had a good run.
You did.
He took 2 upstairs. 3 went up, and only 2 came down. And the 2 that came down took the watch, the cash, and gone.
The rollie. Took the rollie and took the cash and see you later. And he's like, wait.
Hold on, time out. I don't even remember going upstairs with those 2. Yeah. Which may be the case. They might have dropped something in the drink.
Yeah, of course. Yes, very
possible. You got to be very careful when you come to this place. I seen these people working. They're always working. They're seeing, they're watching who's winning, who's not. All this stuff. Man, I used to work the morning shift where I would open the book. I'd have to be there at 6. That's when they were picking up the stragglers. Guys have been on the benders all night. I'd be like, hey, what are you doing?
It's like the lights coming on at the club at 2 a.m.
And you see everybody scatter. You're like, what the? That looked different in the dark. Like, whoa. Yep. Yeah. But you said about the bonus whores and all that other stuff and made me think of that
those
story.
Those weren't bonus whores. Those were whores.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
those are
they had track records. They followed them from one place to the other. They got surveillance. They went upstairs. They were there for 8 minutes. They were up in the room for 8 minutes.
It was planned. So he knew it. Did they know what to do?
That wasn't their first time.
No. Maybe he was a Rick Pitino, though. So maybe it was only 8 minutes.
Oh.
Oh. You know,
that was fast.
Rick was fast. Rick was fast. Rick was 2. So, it's
8 minutes and took all the cash and the watch and then dropped it off and went to another place and they got all of it on surveillance. Like, what are you thinking?
Not good. Before we let go of Sports Grid and let go of SiriusXM for the show, Lions this number now is 2.
Yeah.
We've seen some move here to move on the Lions. The total has not moved, right? Let's see. Nope, it's gone down to 45. So we've
Lions is the side, right?
It feels like the Lions is the side. Yeah, it really does. I mean, I'm wearing the Packer gear behind me, Lions gear. It feels like it's the side, but I'm having a difficult time with it because the Lions have won 3 straight games against Green Bay.
Yep.
This is a monster revenge spot here for the Packers. If you like to play spots, like if you're a revenge spot player, this is the ultimate revenge game where we talked about this in the preseason. We said Packers and the Lions split home and home. Thursday night, short week, road team, short week. Oftentimes they struggle when they go on the road. Packers defense is going to be the key to this game in a big time way. Here are some numbers on.
It's like the chat knows when we start talking about football, more and more people just started piling in.
Oh, good.
It's 10:30. Guys in the chat, girls in the chat. Who do you like?
Here are your numbers.
You like Lions -2. 2's the number now. So let's go Lions -2 or Packers +2. Who you got? Put it in the chat right now. And guys, don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that other stuff. Go.
So the Lions played 1 game in primetime against Kansas City this year. They won the game. Game went under. Lions are 2-1 to the under on the year. Green Bay's 1-2 to the under, but they just were at home last week, 18-17. Had to come from behind. They were down 17-0 in that game to the Saints. The injury to Derek Carr really spurred that opportunity for them to come back. Both defenses are really good. Top 11 in both pass and rush yards allowed for the Detroit Lions. Top 20 for the Green Bay Packers in both those categories. Lions are passing the ball pretty well this year, 7.9 yards per pass play. Over the last 4 years, Detroit has averaged 20 points per game against the Green Bay Packers. They don't score very much in this game. And the Packers are without Bakhtiari, and Jair Alexander is not going to play tonight either. So best cornerback.
Is Aaron Jones playing?
I don't know. He's
How do we
game,
not know that? Right,
because he's
now?
game time. He's a game time. Game time decision.
what part of the league and all that integrity stuff is that part of the game time decisions? Where do we get that report? What do we do with that?
Don't know.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
If you see that number come back the other way, he's playing.
He's playing.
We'll know by watching the line, without a doubt.
I think this is a boring football game. This is a old school.
Surprise, surprise. Thursday, prime time, under.
Yeah. This is
wow. We got a division in the chat, though. Akbar, my guy. Good to see you, sir. Stephanie's not coming on the show today. I tried.
Monday.
You're on the Twitter. Yeah, probably Monday for the Giants game. So set it in your phone. I mean, you're here every day anyway, but he said the amount of ads today is too high. We're trying.
Good to know.
Best. Yeah, we'll take it duly noted. But we got Packers, Lions, Packers, Lions, Packers, Lions, Packers, Lions. This is unbelievable. The perfect number.
It's a coin flip. I mean, it's a coin flip game. It is a absolute coin flip game because I can make a very strong case for both sides. That's why I couldn't bet it. I can't even same game parlay this. I mean, same game tease this because
you even taking the under this feels like you could put either side with the under. I think
that's
it'd be
all
good.
I bet. That's all I bet. It's
46.
I bet 46 under. That's it. That's all I bet. I don't. I would say take it at +2 up to 8, and then take the total from 45 or 46 up to 50 or 51. Bet the under. I think the 50 or 51, you're good. I'm worried about 20 to 10 because it got me in the Eagles game. That's what happened to me last month on Monday night. It was the same exact play. I knew that game wasn't under. She just bet the under. Instead, I went ahead and laid. I gave +11 to Tampa, and they lost by 13.
Right.
So, like, that's my worry is I'm going to give one side 8 points, give the Packers 8 points at home. They could lose by 7. That's fine, but they lose by 10, which is really possible. And then I'm out. So I'd rather just bet the under and say, okay, I don't believe either team. This is a race to 20 in my mind. First team to 20 wins.
It's crazy. I just looked and saw Joel Onler in the chat. He has not seen an ad yet watching the show. So
correct.
Now it's like different. How is that possible?
On purpose. It's a setting that I've put it down for. There is I don't know why, which user does what. I don't know yet. We got to figure this out because it is, I have it on the lowest setting and the ads run in all different times, all different people. Because some people won't see anything.
Oh.
So
okay. Right.
It's a random way of it's under quote conservative for ads to be run. Okay. But again, if you're watching on YouTube, it's a new setting on YouTube. They've decided that you have to have in content ads running now. If you want to have your pre-roll ads live, which is what everyone has, in content now is required.
Okay. That's
which
fine.
I'd rather not.
Well, I know, but it's not our choice.
Right. Correct. Yes.
So until we get our own TV channel, which and I don't think we won the Powerball last night, but if anybody did, it's a Brigade member, please
wants to come on and
invest in the show. You can build us a station or a studio. Yeah. We'll come and do the show. You can be on the show. You can, we can make a deal, but yes.
Right. Okay. We have 90 seconds before we let go. We'll just talk about this really fast.
We're going to continue this in bonus time too.
Oh, you want to? I was going to.
Well, yeah. Well, but we got to mention it right now.
Spend 1 minute on this, really. I mean, this is now a stunt. This is now officially confirmed. This whole thing's a stunt.
Oh, which is what I said at the beginning.
Correct. Well, so did I. I said the same thing, but I was hoping. A part of me wanted it to be real. I wanted those two to be actually dating. I think
my wife's biggest disappointment. She really wanted this to be real too.
And now the fact that she's going to Sunday Night Football is, I'm like, wow. Like
they need people to watch.
They do, but this is anyone who knows Taylor's dating history, this is completely baloney. She would never do this. If this was real, she would never do this. She's a private person. This is very, very public. This is not typical of how she operates. So the movie coming out in October, it's in New York, a lot of eyeballs. The #1 TV show, I said it on Tuesday, the #1 TV show in the country is Sunday Night Football. If she showed up there on Sunday Night Football, it's fake. Boom. Yesterday. Taylor Swift will be in attendance.
Boom.
And by the way, she's Sophie Turner, who is the ex of Joe Jonas. They're going through a nasty divorce.
Yeah.
She's staying at her place in New York.
Oh.
So Taylor's not even I don't think Taylor's even living at her place in New York. Sophie Turner is with her 2 daughters. She's living there. So
Really?
there's your TMZ portion of the program. For you guys who were here the whole show, thank you. Earlier than normal, tomorrow back to normal on a Friday. For you guys who are watching on YouTube, listening on SiriusXM. You're watching on Sports Grid, listening on SiriusXM. We're back tomorrow for you guys who are live with us on YouTube and on Twitter. Do not move because you guys are getting what we call bonus time. Okay. Temple and Tulsa tonight. We'll do this in Better to Book It as well, but I'm bringing this up here because I was talking to our Justin Hathaway, our friend, NBC Sports California.
Oh,
big Tulsa guy. He's jacked up and excited.
Seriously?
He is. Nobody else is.
Jacked up and excited. I mean, the double entendre for so many things that you've said today. This might become a morning show if you're going to keep bringing the comments and the energy like that. I still can't get over lubed up and ready to go.
Yeah. Let's go.
What do you like? So he likes Tulsa? You like Tulsa?
I like Tulsa, yeah. Temple sucks. Temple's bad.
Tulsa's good? Good laying points in this game?
They won on the road at Northern Iowa last week as 3.5 point dogs.
Good?
No, but they're 3.5 point dogs. They won the game by 8. They won outright. They played Oklahoma and Washington and got killed by both. That's fine. That's typical. You know they're going to get killed by that. They covered against Washington, amazingly enough.
This is such a weird matchup. Like, why is Temple playing Tulsa on a Thursday night in late September?
It's conference day on TV.
This is a conference game?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a conference game.
Temple's in that same conference, though?
Yeah. So, and Temple's bad. They average 12 points per game. They can't score on anybody.
I will take your word for it, and I will not watch a single play of
I'll
this
give
game.
you all the stats and Better to Book It.
Please.
Hey, was Sean Payton the right hire?
Wow. Is this too soon to ask this question?
I don't know. They traded a first and a second round pick for this guy.
They better beat the Bears this week.
Right? What if they don't? Where's their 0-4? Because this was the guy to fix Russ. This was the guy who's going to fix Russell Wilson, bring him in. It was Hackett. It was, Hackett sucked. It was not Russ. It was Hackett. Hackett made a lot of dumb choices, but
he didn't lose by, he didn't have a 70 burger put up on him.
50, 70 to 20.
I mean, that's why you got to be careful what you put out there. Sometimes that stuff can come back and get you. I don't know if it's not a must win ever this early in the NFL season, but my goodness, 0-3 and playing the Bears, only a 3-point favorite on the road. You better win this game.
Right.
Otherwise, a lot of people are going to start asking that question. They're already starting to rumbles.
I think people are asking.
The game has passed them by. He was gone too long.
Yeah.
He had Drew Brees.
Can't relate. Right. Can't relate to the players. Had a great quarterback. All the things you don't want to have asked. If you're Sean Payton, all the questions.
Yeah. I don't know. I never call for guys' jobs. I don't like doing that and all that other stuff. I wait and see after this week because, they come out and house them.
Right. And everything. You're right. You're like, okay, you're feeling better about them.
Okay.
Right. They kill the Bears. Right.
Who they got next week? You see who they got next week?
No.
Isn't that
Chiefs?
No. I think next week.
Raiders?
Refresh. No.
No, I didn't play the Raiders.
Next week,
Lost one.
It is the game that would have been the game. Jets
Seattle
at Denver.
Bummer. That would have been the game. You're right. Return of Hackett.
Right?
Return.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody coming back.
That sucks. Too bad.
So if you're thinking narrative play, Denver loses this game.
0-4, and then what? They win,
Bears.
and then they
and
win.
Then Hackett coming back with Wilson,
and they lose,
and all this stuff, and the Jets win.
And they're 0-5.
Payton out.
0-5. You can't. Sean Payton's not getting fired after year one. Sean Payton can go 0-17. He's not getting fired. Not after 1 year. They gave up a first and second round pick for him. Now Russ is gone next year, but Payton's not.
They better beat the Bears.
They better.
It's going to be a long week at home in
Yeah.
Denver with the Jets coming to town with nothing going right for the Jets and Zach Wilson because they're going to get crushed with Taylor in the building.
Boy. Look out on that. I would agree. With Taylor in the building, it's going to be bad for the Jets.
Good luck, Jets.
This is local, but it's just something to keep in mind. There is the potential for a massive strike of the biggest union here in Las Vegas during F1.
There's
60,000 employees of the culinary union. Their contracts are up with the three biggest property groups, Caesars, MGM, and so on. Their contract's up.
next week, right?
Yep. No, it's already up. I think it's already up. I think it's already up.
Okay.
They have the ability to strike, I think, as of next week.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nope. They better get, all I'm saying, I'm bringing it up because you better get the damn deal done, Vegas. You better get a deal done. Figure out whatever you got to do. You better get a deal done. Because if we did all this bullshit, ripping up the roads, making our lives, and the damn thing doesn't happen because they can't put people in hotels because everyone's on strike. Yeah. That's about the worst case scenario you could ever dream of for this town.
You start to think about like how all this stuff has happened in the last couple months, like, and then the hack and all this other stuff. And you start thinking, is all this related? Like to
sure,
this?
Of course. Well, no, it's all related to F1. It's a global event.
I know it's all related to F1, but like, were there things done and moves made by people in the dark that may have
for the culinary union? No.
Who knows? I'm
I
just
don't think
saying.
So. No.
I don't know, but
I don't believe that. I don't believe that, but I do believe it's all connected to F1. I think the spotlight on Vegas has never been brighter globally than it is with the changes and the money and everything else going into F1. That this town is 100% a target for a lot of things right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things paying in. But then one more before better to book it. Can you explain to me what the fuck was going on yesterday at the Phillies game? Somebody tried to bring this into the game. Somebody tried to bring
alligator.
Alligator.
It's an alligator.
As a service animal.
That's an alligator.
This guy has a Instagram with 25,000 followers. Wally. What? His name is Wally the Alligator. He's an emotional support alligator. People hold him and walk around with that thing. Consistently. An alligator.
Like
they tried
to. You serious?
They tried to bring him in to the Phillies and Pirates game yesterday.
In Philadelphia.
At Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah.
The owner had Wally on a leash. He's a 5-foot alligator. And that on the stadium's policy, it says that certified service dogs and service dogs in training for guests with special needs are welcome. All other animals are prohibited. He's got 25,000 followers on Instagram and 100,000 followers on TikTok. Wally denied entry. It drew comparisons to the famous curse of the billy goat involving the Cubs.
Oh.
In 1945, they tried to bring in a billy goat to the game, and it was denied, and then the Cubs never won the World Series again. So now it's going to be the curse of the alligator on the Phillies. Wally the alligator.
I'm not a fan of alligators.
Why would you be? Would you want to sit in a game with that thing next to you? It's a dinosaur.
So
it's a legitimate dinosaur.
Last summer, I went to Padres game by myself. We were in San Diego, and the kids were in the room and said, we don't want to go. So I went by myself, and I said, give me the best seat in the park that's available right now. I sat 6 rows behind home plate.
Yeah.
I walk in, and a guy is sitting with his dog. The dog is sitting in my seat.
Oh.
The dog weighs 80 pounds.
Oh, God. Okay.
And I'm like, that's
hey,
he
bro.
goes, oh, is this your seat? I said, yeah, this is my seat. So the dog sat at my feet the rest of the game. It's a nice dog. Didn't do, but I was like, I can't believe I was covered in dog hair, shed all over the seat. And I was like, I mean, you got to, when they tell you service dogs are allowed, it's all right, these dogs are allowed. If I walked into a game and a fucking alligator was sitting next to me, like, hold on. I need my money back. I need a new section. Can you imagine
the balls?
I'm waiting in line to get my ticket scanned with the kids, and this guy is holding Wally on a leash.
walking an alligator.
What the fuck is that? Oh, it's my service.
It's
Hold
my
on,
dinosaur.
time out.
My service dinosaur.
You bring him places
All the time.
Well, okay, there got to be a limit to this. Somebody's got to stop. You can't have an alligator be the service. Like, who is that calming? Like, I hear these things with the service animals. I need a dog, a cat calms me down. I pet it. I feel good.
Yep.
I seen last year Josiah on the Twitter. He's so funny. He did the peacock when the peacocks were in at St. Peter's. Right. A peacock was your service animal?
Yep.
How is that even possible?
Rooster. Okay. I've seen roosters. A service rooster.
You're not even fucking with me right now?
It's a service cock. Literally.
Got me again. What are you doing? Oh, what? I can't even believe you just said that.
That was me.
I don't even know if I might have to get up and go piss. I don't believe you just said that. Everybody blames me for the stuff. You killed the whole thing.
Oh, that was good.
Move the show
I got
2
myself.
hours.
I knew I was going to say it. I got myself. That was good.
That was really good.
But it's true. I have seen that. That's true.
Service rooster. What do you call it?
I just told you we call it.
I know. But what do you name it? To name the gator Wally.
Oh,
What
I
do you
don't
name
know.
a service rooster? Put it in the chat.
Pornhub? I don't know.
Service cock. Oh, I can't even stop. Oh my God.
Too good. Things up a little bit. Need to just slide our way in something else. Oh God. Okay. Tulsa -3 tonight. Here are the numbers for Tulsa in case you were curious. Temple's 1-3 ATS. They're 0-3 against teams from the FBS. However, ATS wise, Miami crushed Temple last week by 34 points at home. Why was Miami playing at Temple? I have no idea. One road game this year for Temple. They lost by 29 points. Tulsa's 2-2 ATS, lost by 33 as 33.5-point dogs on the road to Washington. Killed by Oklahoma by 49, but they won last week, as I mentioned. Temple's averaging 12.7 points per game offensively. That's horrible. Tulsa turns the ball over 2.3 times per game. That's top 25 in college football.
I didn't hear a word you said.
I know. Betting and booking it. Tulsa -3.
We owe Whitrock a new computer. He spit out his water all over his computer. Guys are wrecking their cars. Cocky Rocky is his name from Cocky. What are you naming this service? Put it in the chat.
Oh, God. It's too
Book
bad.
it. I don't
Book it? You don't even know you're going to book it? All right,
watch
yeah.
the game. Give me Temple.
Give you Temple?
Stop. Yeah, give me Temple. That's fine. I'll take the points.
I'm getting my resident Tulsa friend said good bet. Under 46 tonight, Lions and the Packers.
Bet this.
Yeah, it's just 9-2.
I don't know what the scenario is that it goes over.
Green
There
Bay
has to
scores a
be
lot.
multiple turnovers, and I think there has to be a special teams or a defensive touchdown.
Fair. And I think the Packers have to score. I think the Lions are going to score tonight. I think the Lions, it's a race to 20, like I mentioned. I think the Lions score.
Just play out like the Green Bay Atlanta game.
Could very well. Yeah, I agree. Yep. That's
Right?
a very good call.
That's the game. It kind of
The Lions haven't played a great passing offense, but the Packers haven't played a really, really good defense yet. I mean, the Saints defense is okay, and they scored 18 points on them. So
they had 6 going into the fourth quarter, though, right?
and then the injury to Derek Carr and everything else, they got opportunities. Everything changed. So, like, I don't think they faced. I think this defense is going to be tough for them to face with the Lions, and I think not having Bakhtiari, I think Hutchinson's going to have a big game tonight.
Yeah,
Under.
I
have a prop bet for you. Tight end Luke Musgrave over 36.5 yards receiving. Through 3 weeks, the Lions have given up more yards than anybody else to tight ends. In week one, Gray got 3 catches for the Chiefs for 31 yards in week 2. Noah Fant had 4 catches for 56 yards. Kyle Pitts in week 3, 5 catches for 41 yards. Musgrave last week was the number 1 targeted receiver. He led the Packers in receiving with 6 receptions. Had a long, I think he wound up with 50 yards last week receiving. He's gone over this number 2 of 3 times so far this year.
What's the juice?
Minus 110.
Oh,
what I got last night. It's moved. It's now 39.5. This number's jumped 3 yards.
Okay.
But when I bet it.
I mean, at this 36.5, I would say bet it. Just,
You find it.
Right? I didn't even know who Luke Musgrave was.
He's a rookie.
You just said it.
He's a rookie tight end for the Packers.
Where did he play college?
Oh, where did Luke Musgrave
I don't know.
play? I don't know where Luke Musgrave played.
If you guys know where
Grave, not Grove.
Musgrave?
I'm in the mistake.
Oh, that's an A? All right.
Yeah.
That's an A.
Luke
Sorry.
Musgrave.
My eyes are watering still from the service talk. I can't stop.
Luke Musgrave played college football at Oregon State.
Oh, okay.
2nd round pick of the Packers.
Right. Love that prop. Rainmaker said he loves it.
Good.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
So there, if you're looking for a prop bet, that's my prop bet play of the day. Hold on one second. Oh wow, did I not put that on? I thought I did. Oh,
what?
Hold on. So like our live stream stuff can run without me actually seeing it. I just have to set it up, and then so I didn't actually. I wasn't actually monitoring it today.
Okay.
Normally I do. Hold on. Let me see what I know we could pull up the super chats if we have any.
We had a couple that popped up.
Okay.
Big Business got one.
Okay.
I'm loading.
Let's see.
Up my hot dog cart, boys.
Oh, nice.
En route.
Dave's Daily Picks. Thank you for the early show. Wife's car was on fire. Like
what?
Legitimately on fire. Okay. Wife's car was on fire. I needed the distraction. She's fine, but I need to buy a new car. Damn, man, that sucks.
Oh, no.
Big Business says those Astros seem full of peckerheads, like you mentioned before. Big Business also, I got the 3-1 ticket on the Rangers to win the division. That's good. Lions money line, Pack tees to 8. Bad idea. I mean, you're creating a middle for yourself. Do you like doing that?
No, just do it in game. Don't have to do the teaser where they both just do it in game. Where they're separate bets. Like take your shot on Lions money line right now. If they get a lead, take the Packers plus. You're going to get more points than 8. If you get a touchdown early, you're really good. So
that's pretty good. So Jack said, I can't breathe.
I believe me, I stopped for a second myself. I was
that's really good. Okay. Favorite thing about did I get them all? Hold on, I think I got them all. I'm loading up my hot dog cart and I'm en route. Where's he going?
He's coming to the strip to open up food trucks because they might need food trucks down on the strip.
Oh, that was okay. The F1
because
thing.
of the culinary union being out.
I see. Okay,
it's gonna get ugly if that happens.
Favorite thing about today is what?
Are you kidding me? The early start time, but I don't even think it's a question. That might have been my favorite thing of the entire year, 2023, doing the show is the service call. I thought Wally the Gator text was enough. Little did I know that was the appetizer to the main course. Rooster service. I mean, you had people lubed up, and you had bonus wars, and people robbing for the rollies.
It's a morning show. And we're a morning show now.
Holy shit, we are a morning show. I can't wait. 1, to think about it. 2, watch it back. And 3, I got to take a piss. So, what's your best favorite thing about today?
It's this show. It's always this show. Thank you guys. I gotta post the show really fast and then get to an appointment at 11:45. Yes. Thank you for being here. He's Dave. I'm Matt. Roll call Friday today, same time as normal tomorrow, 11-ish Pacific, 2 p.m. ish or so. Like button, everything, all the fun stuff. Thank you for being here. Roll call Friday tomorrow for BVB.